the point about heuristics are they're very broad general principles. That was the entire idea, why there are only 10, because there are really thousands of things to know about user interface design. And my thought was, that's on the one hand very good to know all that, but it's also too much to assume or expect people to remember constantly. So I want to have a smaller list that people could keep more in mind and use as a quick checklist to think about user interfaces. And so because of that, they are extremely broad in general, and they actually really relate more to the general problem of bridging the gap between computers and humans, not so much about specific screen designs or specific audio designs if you're designing an audio interface. I mean, they actually apply, whether it's a visual design or an audio design, they still apply, even though like the phrasing, like one of the heuristics is called visibility of system status. And so if you have an audio-only design, you can have it be literally visible, but you have to make it apparent or known, I guess, would be like you would have to rephrase or rethink about it in that case. But no, I think they apply, and they've applied for 30 years. They're still useful today. And so to me, I have this general view of history, which is that if you look back a number of years and something has been true for a very long time, you can flip and you can look forward and you can expect that it will probably continue to remain true in the future as well, if it's been true for a long time in the past. And so that's why I expect that these 10 heuristics will still be useful for analyzing or talking about user interface design with whatever turns out to be the next technology in the future, because they're not actually precise enough. They're broad enough, but they're not precise enough to relate really to the specifics of the technology. So like whether you're designing a mobile design, well, okay, we have various issues that relate to the screen being small, and that's not directly covered by the heuristics. But the general points about the dialogue or the interaction, they are covered, whether you're talking about a small screen or a big screen, or in the old days, you were talking about a text-based, Unix-based user interface, or you're talking about a graphical user interface, or you're talking about artificial intelligence-driven user interface. All of those things are really kind of subsumed under that higher level of very broad thinking of the heuristics. And I feel like that's very useful. It's also very useful to have very specific guidelines for the exact technology. I mean, both are useful, but they're just different types of thinking about user interface design.